How much do the same items from 2021 cost today? Let's find out. In November 2021, I posted this video, and with inflation at 4.5%, I wondered if I went back to the same store and bought the same things today, how much more would they cost me? So the same groceries from last year cost us almost $8 more. This did not surprise me at all. My grocery budget is out of control right now. Let me know in the comments how much your groceries have increased.
All right, so before you scroll past this, because you think that this doesn't apply to you, let me share something with you guys. Right now, these are inflation rates on some goods and services, okay? So check this out. Right here, we have beef that went up 24%. Okay, 24%, guys, 24%. Then we also have used cars that went up 26%. Bacon roughly went up about 20%. We also have gas, guys. Gas went up 51%. That's crazy. All right, 51%. Car rentals went up about 39%. Eggs went up about 12%. Natural gas at about 28%. All right, so this data comes from a site called Trueflation. But let me share something with you guys on why the government's really not telling us what's actually really going on. Now, last time I checked, the government told us inflation was at 8.5%. But according to Trueflation, inflation is actually much higher than that, closer to 12%, maybe even higher than that. So governments are using older methods from the CPI reporting, okay, Consumer Price Index. But why do they really want to tell us where the inflation truly is? Okay, well, number one is, guys, we have to keep a certain image, right? U.S. holds the world reserve currency. All right, so that gives us negotiation powers. That gets other countries to trade currency with us. We just got to look good, right? We can't show other countries that we're actually looking weak and our value of the dollar's dropping. Number two is that we also just don't want to cause a panic in our economy right now, right? So you're going to cause stocks to go volatile and all that stuff, right? So we have to keep a good image. That's really what it comes down to. There's a political agenda, of course, guys. So I'm breaking this down for you because it's very important for you and your family to understand what's truly going on right now and how to game plan to combat this high inflation. Okay, so I share with you guys the prices of a lot of the products and services that are up. So make sure, guys, that you get your money right, you learn financial literacy so that you can put a plan together to better your family. Much love.
Gas prices have hit another all-time high, another sign of the inflation that's hammering American families. The average price per gallon is now around $4.60 after hitting a new high nearly every day for the past 2 weeks. The cost of diesel fuel also broke records last week, and keep this in mind, nearly everything we buy is delivered on a truck or a train that runs on diesel.
Thank you for calling Zillow. How can I help you?
Yes, how you doing? I'm looking into purchasing a 3-bedroom house.
Alrighty, what's your budget?
$300,000.
You would have gone for that too.
So the Fed just approved the first rate hike in more than 3 years and projects 6 more in 2022. Here's exactly what that means and how it affects you. First off, it's important to know what the Fed funds rate even is. Okay, it's simply the interest rate that banks use when they lend each other money. Now, why this rate is so important is because it indirectly affects a ton of other rates, right? When the Fed funds rate goes up, the rates for credit cards, mortgages, car loans, savings accounts, and more would likely go up as well. So the Fed is making it more expensive to borrow money and more lucrative to save money with the overall goal of bringing inflation back down to its target of 2%. Now, what should you be doing with all of this going on? Well, in my opinion, you should pay off all bad debt as soon as possible, as it's only going to become more costly to hold, and then just continue to invest in what you believe in for the long term.
It's your favorite economics professor. You asked, so I'll answer. Why did the Federal Reserve increase interest rates, and what does that mean to the economy and specifically you? The Fed hiked interest rates by 50 basis points or 0.5%. The reason they did this is because inflation rates are high and they want to reduce inflation. When interest rates increase, the cost of mortgages, credit cards, and other loans increase as well, making it less likely that you will buy a house, car, or if you're a business, to spend that on expanding your business. While this reduces inflationary pressure, it also reduces GDP. This is, or has a potential to reduce GDP. This is a concern since first quarter GDP was down 1.4%. If GDP is also down in the second quarter, then we will officially have a recession. The Fed is aiming for what they call a soft landing, but if they increase interest rates too fast, it can hurt the economy. Make sure to like, follow, share this with somebody that would benefit from learning this information.
Here's what to know about the current real estate environment. Interest rate hikes. Effective as of May 5th, 2022, the Federal Reserve voted unanimously to approve a 0.5% point increase in the primary credit rate. The policy changes come at a challenging time. Inflation is running at the fastest pace in 4 decades. The hope is to slow the economy enough to reduce inflation without damaging it so much. The effect of higher interest rates is that they tend to lower stock prices, in part because it costs businesses more to operate when money is expensive to borrow. We also see the effect on mortgage interest rates. Back during COVID peak times, interest rates were back in the 2s and the 3s. Now they're in the 4s and the 5s. Credit cards and a line of credit monthly payments are also taking a hit as well, especially if those interest rates on there are adjustable versus fixed. If you want to learn more about how to combat higher interest rates, follow me and check out my next video.
Planning to buy a home in 2022, listen up. The National Association of Realtors is now expecting a shift in the housing market this year. The group just reported pending home sales fell 1.2% in March, marking the 5th straight monthly decline. Now, those pending sales represent the number of contracts that were signed in March to purchase a home, with those sales expected to close in about 30 to 60 days. So that means we're expected to see another drop in existing home sales for April and May if we base it off of those contracts that were signed in March. Now, the National Association of Realtors says they expect existing home sales to fall 9% this year. And that's a sharp reversal from the surge in sales we saw in 2020 and 2021. And yes, as you're probably expecting, it's all thanks to higher mortgage rates. Prices are still at all-time highs, but now mortgage rates are also at the highest level seen since 2009. What are you expecting to see in the housing market this year? Let me know in the comments. Are you planning to buy or are you staying put?
Layoffs aren't coming. No, they're already here. How do you know? Carvana just laid off 2,500 employees today. Facebook has a new hiring freeze. Uber CEO says that he's going to be hardcore about costs. My friends, this is only the beginning. Okay, so what should I do? Here's 3 things to do immediately to prepare. First, spend less, save more. Try to save up at least 6 months in your emergency fund. Second, pay down high interest debt like credit cards. Third, research and learn what unemployment benefits your state offers, because those differ from state to state. Got it. Thanks for the tips, Mr. Everything Money. Follow right here for all the money tips.
Here's 6 steps you should be taking to get ready for higher interest rates later this month. 1. Get a snapshot of your finances, how much debt you have and what kind, your monthly income, and your expenses. 2. Eliminate the debt that makes you fragile in a rising rate environment. Those are higher interest rate debts like credit cards, as well as variable rate loans. 3. Constantly shop around for the best rates on the market. Especially when it comes to savings accounts, a different bank could offer something better each month. 4. Don't miss out on refinancing. If you see a better deal than what you're currently charged, you might be able to lock in a lower rate now before interest rates rise. 5. Boost your credit score to make sure that you can secure the best rate possible if you have to take out more debt. And 6. Start thinking about how you'd handle job loss or an unexpected expense. There's a risk that the Fed, which sets interest rates, could raise rates too much, meaning it's important to boost your emergency fund. Check out Bankrate for even more tips.
So interest rates just increased by 0.5% with the Bank of Canada. If you own a house, you need to listen up. If you are not planning on moving anytime soon and your mortgage is close to the end of its term, you need to contact your mortgage broker now and see whether or not it's in your best interest to get out of the mortgage you're in and lock in for a new 5-year term. If you are thinking of buying or selling, you really need to call a mortgage broker and you need to lock in your interest rate for 120 days Keep in mind that's 120 days from now to when you close, but you don't want it to go up any higher than where it is today. They are talking about the Bank of Canada doing 2 more interest rate hikes, one in June, one in July. They're anticipating both are going to be another 0.5% each, so it's another full percent. So lock in, make any changes you need to today.